You better start low.
La 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 doo 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 doo.
Tell me if I could send my heart.
I got the cutest crochet hooks off the TikTok shop. They are literally so cute. They feel so good. You have 14 different sizes and it tells you the size on each hook. I'm going to link it below for you.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
I'm a genius. I'm a fucking genius. Hey, Mom! I'm a fucking genius!
This is another thing no one tells you about crochet before you start, is that, and before you start crochet, you really need to sit down and ask yourself, do I know how to count? And more importantly, am I ready to confront the answer to that question being no?
And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like I love you.
This is my idea of a very nice day out.
All that work and what did it get me?
Honestly, whatever, I'm down for whatever. We could go see a movie, we could get lunch, we could kill someone. Or, the apple orchard?
Girl, I could've changed your life, but she heard it all. Well, I'ma say it anyway, shawty, I'm from the city, where we were never taught to love. You ain't gotta be in love.
Joanne, you cannot go bankrupt. I can't go to Michael's. It feels like a dentist's office that also sells yarn. Just, what did you do with all the money I gave you? Did you spend it? I gave you more money than the silverware cost and you spent it already? What'd you do with all of my money? Use that. Joey. Oh.
I want to be me. Is that not allowed? Here you go again. You say we want your freedom.
I do not know that answer right now, but I will do everything in my power to get that information for you. Please hold.
This is your reminder that literally every crocheted item is handmade. It's not made by machine. It's made by hand.
Oh my god! You want to buy one? Yes, yes! Just shut up and take my money!
Where's the phone? Bomboclat!
I've never told anyone this before, but I'm addicted to peanut butter.
Oh my gosh, you like turtles? I like turtles too! What is happening here?
And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like I love you. I can see it in your eyes.
So all you need is this and this. Use this and this too. Don't forget this stuff. Throw in this and use just a splash of this. And you get that.
Jesus, naked rain. Happy Olympia.
After more than 20 years of crocheting, I recently learned a way to finish your stitch that is a complete game changer. Instead of doing a regular stitch and making a knot that's bulky and hard to hide, clip your yarn, leaving an extra long tail, and pull it all the way up through your last stitch. Then you will thread your yarn through the top stitch of the last round and again through your very last stitch. Pull the yarn through until it joins both rounds seamlessly. Then weave the tail in through the stitches on the back side of your project. Now there are no bulky knots and you have a seamless finish all the way around.
I would like to welcome everybody to that time of year where everyone expects you to be making cookies and jolly treats for everybody, but your talents don't lie there. Your talents lie in the yarn. Now you want a beautifully knitted, quilted, crocheted, anything, I am there for you. I am your girl. You want a dozen sugar cookies? I got news for you, sweetheart. They're gonna be burned.
I'm a hooker. I have balls, whips, and chains, and I never leave the house without my 9mm.
This is another thing no one tells you about crochet before you start, is that, and before you start crochet, you really need to sit down and ask yourself, do I know how to count? And more importantly, am I ready to confront the answer to that question being no?
And that's a half double crochet. We have 5 chains left. Then yarn over and pull through and pull the top and into the center of the in the back loops only. So to do a half double crochet,
Alright guys, I'm gifting my mom this 8-ball bag because she loves it so much.
I don't want it on my shoulder.
Okay, put it on for us. Give us a little haul. Come on, put it on your shoulder.
You put it on my shoulder.
No, like actually show us.
I'm
come
not
on.
putting it on my shoulder.
No, why not?
I'm not promoting 8 balls.
Okay, we're not promoting anything here except for the beautiful game of pool. Come on, put it on. Try it on. Yo.
I'm in the middle of watching something.
Okay, and you can do both. Can you not multitask?
No, Mom, put on Candy Crush again. You'll get her even more. Yana, go bother your dad, please.
Dad's not giving. No, can you put it on and then...
Dad is smarter than a...
No, like on your shoulder.
It's on my shoulder.
It's on... Okay, and tell me, what do you think of the stitchmanship of this?
The stitching is actually very nice. It's very thick because you use 2 actual yarn at the same exact time. So now you can see the white in between too. But it looks cute.
Oh gosh, what was that?
All right.
I don't want anything today. I just wanted to show off my hair. It is human hair crochet. I did it very cute. I've had it in for a couple weeks now. I will have a long install video, a long form install video on my YouTube channel, as I always do. Shorter version on here, but just a preview. It is the natural wave hair from the company Coily Q. They make human hair crochet. I bought this with my own coin, so the review and all my wearings and all my interactions will be from the consumer's point of view as per usual, but I did a little wand curl on it today. I'm loving it. It's 18 inches. I've had it in for a couple weeks now, and I haven't cut it at all, so it's in its 18 inches form. Again, there will be more details to come. I'm just giving you a little preview. The people who follow me on Instagram and YouTube aren't getting this little inside scoop, but I just wanted to give you an inside scoop. I do have a little bit of my hair left out, so that's in the front, but other than that, the rest is the hair, and the hair is hairing.
You love crocheting? Are you looking for another reason to love crocheting? You're gonna want to hear this. There's so many reasons to love crochet. It's fun, it's creative. You can make pretty much anything you want with just some yarn and a hook. But it gets even better. Science has found that people who crochet actually see tremendous health benefits from the hobby. That's right, crocheting is actually good for your health. Starting off with the brain, a study from the Mayo Clinic found a 40% reduction in memory loss and a 30 to 50% reduced risk of Alzheimer's by those who to crochet or knit. I think it probably has something to do with the fact that you're always learning something new with crocheting, and that paired with the constant hand-eye coordination really makes a huge difference. Crocheting also helps to slow down the nervous system and reduce stress hormones, aka cortisol, in your body. This is because you're focusing your mind on the actual activity of crocheting, which will help relieve your anxiety and boost serotonin, which will improve your mood. Basically, crocheting will oftentimes help improve your fine motor skills, and these little motions that it takes to create something will help keep your hands and fingers feeling great for years to come. In case you needed an added bonus, following a crochet pattern will most often involve some level of math, which helps keep your mind sharp. So if you've been on the fence about trying crocheting, or you're just looking for more reasons to add to your list of why crocheting is so great, I hope by now you're convinced.
The time is 4:30 p.m.
The question is about this rug that I'm making. So I'm knitting I-cord with my cordsmith like this, and then I'm crocheting it into a rug. So the question is, how flexible is this rug? It's actually fairly flexible because I am using a 15mm hook. So you can see like the gap between the stitches and stuff like that. It's pretty big because I wanted a nice drapey rug. Now, let me show you what would happen if you were doing a granny square. So I'm just going to put 2 stitches in the corner and show you. And this is actually the reason why I opted for a circular rug as opposed to the round rug, as opposed to a granny square. If you look back at one of my earliest videos of me doing this, it actually is me doing a granny square. So you can see the corner gap would be really, really big. So like, let me just turn and do that again for you. Let's just turn and do another corner. Let's do 2 stitches like that, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, and I'll just like attach it here. So this is the issue I ran into, is that the gaps are really, really big in the corners. So while yes, you could technically make a granny square sweater with this, the gaps are really, really big. And that's what put me off of it.
What to crochet or knit for somebody that you don't like, but you don't want them to know that you don't like them. Part 5. I have a rule when dealing with people at work that you can be dumb and nice or smart and mean, but don't be dumb and mean. I don't get paid enough to tolerate you then. That's why this dumbbell is getting something crochet or knit out of wool, because you know Zoolander here is not going to read the instructions and then we'll be left with a sweater for ants. How about a floor blanket or maybe some scarves out of some fugly colors? Do kids say that anymore? Fugly? Probably not, but I'm old. Is it churlish and beneath you? Yes. But is it a poor use of your time and talent? Also yes. But you'll get to use up some of your stash and then have room for more yarn. Speaking of more yarn, we all know that it's the thought that counts. But sometimes someone who should know better shows us how very little they think of us by getting us the scratchiest, most poorly constructed yarn that they can find. I'm not talking about your coworker or your well-meaning aunt here, somebody close enough to your inner circle who should be able to feign interest when you prattle on about yarn. So you're gonna take that yarn and you're gonna crochet or knit a blanket and then give it back to that trifling fool, because you are the Principessa of petty revenge. You are Koli, Loki's younger cousin, god of chaotic neutral, and follow for more crochet.
So I crochet
And everyone is always telling me, oh, why don't you sell your stuff? You could make so much money. Now, let's put aside the fact that doing it for money would rip all the fun right out of it, and then I would never want to do it ever again. Let's calculate, because I feel like people are not understanding that nobody would buy my stuff because it's so expensive if I'm paying myself fairly. So, this is the project we're basing it off of. This is a blanket that I'm making for my sister. I'm calling it the sunset blanket. It's obviously going to be much bigger than this, but this is just the first 5 rows. It's a granny square blanket. Now, this is 1 granny square, and I need 225 of these. So, here's what we're going to do. $7.25 an hour, right? Federal minimum wage. $7.25. It takes me 15 minutes to make 1 of these, which means I can make 4 of these in 1 hour, right? If I'm making 4 an hour and I need 225 divided by 4. That's 56 hours, and I'm always just going to round down if it's a decimal. That's 56.25, so 56 hours. Now, 56 hours times $7.25 an hour equals $406. Just for the labor. I haven't even factored in materials yet. Now, 1 row of this, I can make an entire row and attach it all with a skein and have a little bit left over. A skein is $4.99. I'm going to have 15 rows when it's done, so let's just round down a little bit to carry over that little bit of extra yarn and say that 13 skeins is all I need. So 13 times $3.99 is $51.87. So let's just say 51. 51 plus 406 is $457. Oh, and I almost forgot to factor in the amount of time it takes me to actually attach the squares, because I've only factored in the time it takes me to make the squares, not attach them. 1 row is 15 squares, so attaching the squares to each other and then attaching the row to the next row takes about maybe an hour. So since there's 15 rows, that's another 14 hours. That extra 14 hours is $101, plus the $457 that we had before means the blanket is $558. Keep in mind that if you're working the federal minimum wage of $7.25 and a 40-hour work week, which is full-time, or supposed to be, then you're making $290 a week, which means you have to use 2 weeks full paychecks to afford the bare minimum price for this fucking blanket by my amateur ass. And even if you charge per square, don't factor in time and don't factor in materials, it's still $225. It's just a hobby for me, and I like it that way. Bye.